Okay, order. Good afternoon, members. Welcome to this afternoon's meeting of the Public Accounts Committee here at Stormont. We have a quorum and we will proceed with today's business. Members, I need to point out that mobile phones must be set to airplane mode or turned off. It is not sufficient to put mobiles on silent mode as they continue to interfere with the Assembly recording. The session is being recorded in video and audio and can be accessed via live online streaming either on the Assembly website or Democracy Live. And I would ask members, please, who are joining us remotely, if they would mute their devices. So agenda item 1 then, apologies. We have apologies to Mr Muir and Mr Boylan. Any others? And Mr O'Toole, I understand, will be joining us late. Agenda item 2.
Cal Boylan as well.
Yeah. Agenda item 2, minutes of the 23rd of September 2021 in your pack, pages 8 to 12. Are members content that I sign these as being accurate?
Right.
Okay. Okay, agenda item 3 then is declaration of members' interests. At each of our meetings, members are required to register relevant financial or other interests in the register of members' interests. Do any members have any interest they wish to declare this afternoon?
Just at all.
Okay. Agenda item 4 then, matters arising. Are there any matters arising from the minutes? Agenda item 5 then is correspondence. Have we any correspondence? Okay. I should at this stage, of course, welcome Mr Rodney Allen to the meeting. Good afternoon, Rodney, and Mr Barr and Mr Bingham. I've really welcomed. Members, I refer to correspondence dated 20th of September 21, pages 3 to 4 of your pack from Minister Swan regarding COVID indemnity arrangement, October 2021, military assistance to the civilian authorities, MACA. This is employer liability cover to support existing medical staff in delivering COVID vaccinations. Normally, when a department proposes to undertake a contingent liability in excess of £250,000, the department is required to give the Assembly 14 days notice before entering into an indemnity. Minister Swan has provided an update on MACA agreement period regarding the combat military technicians supporting medical staff that the COVID pandemic has required his department put in place employers' liability cover in accordance with Section 2 and 3 of HSC Reform Act 2009 and his healthcare responsibilities in relation to MACA for the period the 1st of October to the 31st of October 2021. Mr Swan is therefore notifying PAC of this indemnity the department has entered into by the means of this letter that has also been copied to the Chair of the Health Committee. Have any members any comments? Mr Allen, have you any comments on this?
Straightforward, Chairman. You've seen 2 of these before this committee during the COVID period, one from Health and one from the Department for Communities. The ministers and this department are following what's set out in Managing Public Money NI. There is one little wrinkle there in terms of the compliance with the 14 days, but that has been stated up by the minister and there's transparency around it. So on the face of it, it's quite straightforward.
Okay, members, so this is just simply indemnification for Her Majesty's medical staff from the Armed Forces working alongside NHS staff. Members content?
Yeah.
Members refer to table correspondence pages 5 to 23 from Pivotal. The correspondence includes a covering email from Anne Watt, Pivotal's director, about their their report transforming 14 to 19 education and skills system in Northern Ireland, Youth Voices and Solutions. The report compiles the views of young people in the 14 to 19 age group and the education system in particular. Theme 5 addresses the barriers identified by young people leaving care with regard to education and skills. It's data to suggest that there is a significant gap between educational achievement of care leavers and other young people in Northern Ireland. This particular cohort is not covered by the Northern Ireland Audit Office report, but there are potential parallels worth drawing between these findings and the more general findings in the NIAO report. Mr. Allen, have you any comments?
It's interesting, Chairman. Just listening to that was the same conclusion that I formed. So certainly the report, just having a quick glance at it this morning, probably of interest to the Education Committee, undoubtedly. And the point that you've picked up yourself, maybe we could circle back round whenever we talk to you about our report further down the agenda.
Okay, members? Content with that? Could I suggest, members, we'll come back, as Mr. Allen has said, when they come back, but could I suggest in relation to that particular inquiry, it would be very important for this committee, I think, to meet with Dr. Purdy and his team and the report that they recently put forward, and I know they had a recent meeting with the Education Minister. And I think if members are in agreement, we should do that. Gillian, if you would take a wee note. Agreed? Agreed. Okay, members, so we'll remain in open session for our next agenda item, Ministerial Direction, Northern Ireland Domestic Aviation Kickstart Scheme. And that is agenda item 6. Northern Ireland Domestic Aviation Kickstart Scheme is in your table pack, pages 25 to 51. Members, unfortunately, the wrong ministerial direction is in your pack this week, and it was in the last papers. So therefore, if you refer to table pack 25 to 51, the ministerial direction, Northern Ireland Domestic Aviation Kickstart Scheme, in your pack, pages 25 to 27, is correspondence from Kieran Donnelly, the Comptroller and Auditor General, dated the 21st of September of this year. The DFE Permanent Secretary wrote to the CNAG on the 20th of June to advise that he had sought a ministerial direction from the Department of the Economy Minister at that stage, Paul Frew, MLA, on the 17th of June 2021 to implement the Northern Ireland Domestic Aviation Kickstart Scheme, NIDAX. The scheme will operate from the 1st of June 2021 to the 31st of October 2021. The background paper to the ministerial direction notes covering COVID-19 pandemic has had a profound impact on the aviation industry, as you all know, globally and nationally, and indeed regionally here in Northern Ireland. The aviation sector is critical to the UK economy, providing connectivity to support a global and connected UK, arguably even more vital to Northern Ireland because of our geographical distance. Remembering Northern Ireland's regional and international connectivity will be essential to rebuilding our economy in the months ahead as we restart the economy and build up to near capacity in terms of the fallout and recovery from the COVID pandemic. Members, in his correspondence, the Permanent Secretary advised that the CNAG that the £5 million provisionally allocated for NIDAX for 2021-22 under the Minister's published Economic Recovery Plan, ERAP, and in your table packs at pages 28 to 51 is the relevant correspondence which underpinned the decision to proceed with the delivery of the scheme. Do either of the gentlemen from the Audit Office have any comment they want to make?
Maybe just very briefly, Chairman, there's quite extensive papers in your pack on this particular direction. Essentially, it's post-COVID, it's a recovery expenditure. The expenditure has been incurred over the summertime. It's supporting and maintaining the network between NI and the rest of GB. The papers point out that it's unusual given our geographical location. Other regions have not felt the necessity to have expenditure of this type, and there's a wee bit included in it to incentivise new routes, and it's coming to you as a direction clearly because the accounting officer felt there wasn't time available to fulfil the requirements of doing proper process to demonstrate the VFM case under managing public money.
Okay. Members content to note? Agreed? Agreed. Members, we will now go into closed session for a briefing and preparation session on our new inquiry, Closing the Gap, Social Deprivation and the Links to Education Attainment. And if members just...
This is the Northern Ireland Assembly Committee Room 30. This is the Northern Ireland Assembly Committee Room 30. This is